Published in 1897, Bram Stoker's Dracula introduced the world to the vampire genre that has endured to this day. Yet where did Stoker's idea of a sophisticated monster of the night come from? While many argue that the author did not take inspiration from Vlad the Impaler, the two share at least a few little similarities. So while this might not be the historical basis for the ancient vampire, let's at least take a look at some of the history of a ruler who could possibly be more cruel than any creature of the night. Born in 1431 as nothing more than Vlad III, the future ruler was the son of Vlad II, aka Vlad Dracul, a general and governor of Wallachia, a region in Romania. His father was a member of the Order of the Dragon, a chivalric order. This earned him the title of Dracul, and his son, Vlad, Dracula. When he was 11 years old, his father refused to back the Ottoman Empire's invasion of Transylvania. Angered, the Sultan ordered the family to come to the capital of Gallipoli, where they were promptly imprisoned. A year later, Vlad II was released, but his two sons, Vlad III and Radu, were kept as prisoners to be raised as warriors for the Ottoman Empire. The belief was that by living amongst the Sultan's family, their sons would become their allies for the day when they took over as ruler of Wallachia. The plan almost worked, with the younger brother, Radu, becoming very close to Sultan Mehmed II. Yet Vlad grew nothing but hatred for his capturers, pouring all of his time and effort into his training, thus becoming a skilled warrior. In 1447, after the death of his father, Vlad Dracula was released and returned to his home. He learned that his father's death was orchestrated by the noble families of Romania. Now a skilled warrior, Vlad vowed to become the ruler of Wallachia and enact his revenge on those who did his family wrong. After his father's death, Vladislav II took over as the ruler of Wallachia. It was in 1448 that Vladislav attacked the Ottoman Empire. Seeing that the seat of power within his home was absent, Vlad Dracula led a force of the Ottoman Empire into Wallachia and took control. With the aid of his quietly sworn enemy, Dracula had once again returned home. After Vladislav's defeat at the hands of the Ottoman Empire, however, he returned to Wallachia with what remained of his army. Dracula was unable to hold control of his home and once again was forced to leave, returning to the Ottomans. For a time, Vlad lived in exile in the Ottoman Empire, yet he would eventually make his way to Moldavia and Transylvania, which bordered Wallachia. For a time, he fought for the Hungarians and would eventually invade Wallachia with their aid in 1456. It was during this invasion that Vladislav died, and Dracula set himself as ruler of Wallachia. He promised that he would aid the Hungarians if the Ottoman Empire attacked, as long as their aid would protect his country from the empire should they ever arrive in Wallachia. At last, Dracula was the true ruler of his home, and at last, he would have his revenge. It was in the early days of his rule that Vlad earned the nickname that has stuck with him throughout history, Vlad the Impaler. In the earliest days of his rule, Vlad began his purge of Wallachia, finding anyone who was said to have a hand in his father and brother's deaths. His enemies were brought forth and executed, impaled on spikes in front of his castle so that all may see and be warned. It was because of these barbaric actions that the myths and legends of Vlad Dracula began to spread. It was said that he died while watching his enemies tortured and impaled, that he dipped his bread in their blood and drank it from his goblets. Yet, despite these rumors of Dracula being a monster, he was seen as a hero to the Wallachian people. He purged the land of thieves, murderers, and rapists, employing his impaling tactics to warn others from committing the same crimes in the future. To this end, the people of Wallachia enjoyed peace and economic prosperity during his reign. Eventually, Wallachia was embroiled in the Ottoman War when Vlad refused to pay tribute to the Sultan. In response, the Sultan sent his envoys to Wallachia to order Vlad to return to the empire. Of course, these men and the armies they commanded were killed, once again impaled on spikes. What followed was a fierce war. Yet Vlad, who had been trained by the Ottoman Empire themselves, led his people to many victories. He harassed the Ottomans by night, attacking and vanishing into the wilderness. He destroyed their food sources and poisoned their water. They would disguise themselves as the Turks, attacking and forcing their enemy to kill each other in the confusion of the night. The Turks would give up their conquest of Wallachia, instead leaving Radu, Dracula's brother, who was still loyal to the empire that raised him, to fight his brother for their home. After years of fighting, Vlad would eventually be killed in battle in 1476. After his fall, Vlad's body was to be chopped into pieces by the Turks, and his head was sent to the Sultan as a gift. Despite the rumors of his brutality, Vlad Dracula was considered a just ruler by the people of Wallachia and is considered a hero to this day by the people of Romania. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like and leave a comment in the section below. And if you would like more lore, myth, and tales of Earth, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you want more of me, you can find me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/DanTStreamer. I will see you guys next time.